A video surfaced featuring a Hong Kong-based Hearthstone player but was quickly taken down after he voiced support of the protests currently happening over there. Ivan Global first reported that Ning Wei Chung, better known as Blitzchung, supported the protest in his interview by the official Taiwanese Hearthstone organization following his victory on October the 6th. During the interview, Chung wore a face mask, likely a reference to the government-issued ban on that very thing while protesting. They've done so to protect their identities from the government. As if to clear any and all confusion about his stance, Chung reiterated his position on the protest when he shouted later in the interview, quote, "Liberate Hong Kong, revolution of our age," end quote. The stream was quickly switched to a commercial break and videos of the Grandmasters are no longer available for viewing. In that same interview, Chung went on to say, quote, "As you know, there are serious protests in my country now. My call on stream was just another form of participation of the protest that I wish to grab more attention. It could cause me a lot of trouble, even my personal safety in real life, but I think it's my duty to say something about the issue," end quote. For the uninitiated, Hong Kong is currently and has been wrapped up in, for several months now, protests relating to China planning to enact laws that would allow them to extradite citizens from Hong Kong for judiciary reasons. Hong Kong citizens began protesting the laws, and while the city government has backed off on putting the plans into action, the movement has only grown as calls for liberation intensifies. After the original story broke, Blizzard announced that Chung was in violation of the 2019 Hearthstone Grandmasters official competition rules. Blizzard went on to say that they will remove Blitzchung from the Grandmasters and will void any prize money he may have earned. In addition, he has been banned from Hearthstone esports competitions for 1 year dating October the 5th. Both of the interviewers on the stream have also lost their contracts with Blizzard. Citing Rules Section 6.1, Blizzard defended their decision to suspend Blitzchung. The rule reads as follows, quote, "Engaging in any action that, in Blizzard's sole discretion, bring you into public disrepute, offends a portion or group of the public, or otherwise damages Blizzard's image will result in removal from Grandmasters and reduction of the player's prize pool to $0 USD, in addition to other remedies which may be provided for under the handbook and Blizzard's website terms," end quote. Grandmasters is the highest tier of Hearthstone esports, and we take tournament rules violations very seriously, Blizzard wrote in a blog post. We'd like to re-emphasize tournament and player conduct within the Hearthstone esports community from both players and talent. While we stand by one's right to express individual thoughts and opinions, players and other participants that do elect to participate in our esports community must abide by the official competition rules, end quote. Chung made a further statement to IGN saying he does not regret what he said. Quote, "I expected the decision by Blizzard. I think it's unfair, but I do respect their decision. I'm not regretful of what I said," end quote. So now that we have all of that out of the way, what exactly does this all mean? It is a money-hungry corporation being money-hungry. Period. End of story. According to Wikipedia, China made up just shy of 25% of the $100 billion video game revenue in 2018, and Blizzard does not want to lose out on their ability to make stacks of cash by allowing one of their players to voice support for a movement that the government is actively trying to shut down. So instead, they'll suspend and try to silence him and lick the boots of the Chinese Communist government, because at the end of the day, money talks and they have zero shame. Almost in parallel to this story, another story very similar to this broke out in the NBA. Okay, Houston Rockets GM Daryl Morey tweeted support of the protests, and since then, China has basically cut all ties with the NBA, costing them tens of millions in revenue, if not more. Blizzard, instead of supporting someone who is risking not only their own prize money, but also their safety and freedom, would rather make their money than to do what is right. Now, is Chung in violation of the rules? Technically, yes, he is. He offended the Chinese government and tarnished the reputation of Blizzard from their point of view. Again, it even states that all of this is at the sole discretion of Blizzard to make these types of calls. And when billions are potentially on the line, it seems they'll be quick to pull the trigger on anyone who does step out of line. Even in violation of the rules, it sucks to see this happen. This goes way above and beyond just video games. This is about human rights and civil liberties. And while I know that they won't because they'll continue to make money, Blizzard should be ashamed of themselves. He went out on a limb in a part of the world that historically doesn't allow or tolerate criticism of the government, okay? Now, I am very much a pro-capitalism type of person. I think that people and businesses should be commended for trying to make as much money as possible. With this YouTube channel, I want it to blow up and be as successful as I can possibly make it. And whether you work for yourself or for someone else, I can't imagine that you're trying not to make as much as you can too. With that being said, though, I still think that there is a moral obligation to do what's right in spite of what it may cost you. Chung knew that and did it anyway. And that is a lesson that Blizzard has yet to learn.